You want a cough drop?
All right. It's Sunday, December 8th, I think, right?
Yeah.
Me and Brenda are out here at Taylorsville Dam on our 6.5 mile hike. And we've gone about 3.5 miles. We're on our way back. And this is Brenda. You guys all know her. Hello. Anybody that's never been out here, it's a great place to come and walk. Just very nice. It's paved and it's just beautiful. But I'll tell you about our story that happened out here one time several years ago. We've been coming here about 10 years. But we were walking, it was just before Christmas. We were walking down this pathway and we were going through this area that's surrounded by really tall trees. And keep in mind, it's just a few days before Christmas. And there's a train track right over here on the other side of these trees. And this train came by right about dusk. And it was like an old-fashioned 1940s passenger train with lanterns on the outside of all the passenger cars that were real brightly lit, and all the cars were lit up on the inside. There were no people on the train, but these cars were so beautiful, and it was so magical because the light from those lanterns was dancing through the trees, and we felt like we were in a snow globe, didn't we, Brenda?
We did.
It was really beautiful, and we're hoping to catch that again this year, maybe. So, thought we would share that story with you.
If this coyote doesn't get us before we get out of here.
It's really a nice place to come. And you have people on bikes too, of course, because it is a bikeway. But I'm trying to see where's the buttons at that turns it on me.
You gotta
Do you see that anywhere?
turn it around, the camera around, the whole phone around.
Oh.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Why is this light on?
Because it just is, but you're on the
Huh.
camera, I saw you.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out this
Am
stuff
I
as
in
we're
there?
walking. Yeah, you're in there.
All right.
Yeah. Your whole face is in there, not me, you.
Nice. All right. Over here we have a nice lake, or not a lake, but a river. This used to be Dayton's canal that pretty much built Dayton. Actually, what this pathway is, and they have signs up here that tells you, this is the old Route 40. So this used to be a hustling, bustling, basically main highway that came into Vandalia and Dayton and helped build everything that we know now. It's a really interesting place. So if you've never been here, you would love it. Plus the exercise is fantastic. All right. Anything you want to say, Miss Brenda?
Just want to get to the end of the trail.
Okay.
This coyote's got me freaked out over here, or whatever this is that's following us.
Yeah, we have seen coyotes out here, and we've seen a lot of deer. And just a little while ago, we saw 7 redbirds all in one tree. That was pretty cool.
Something is walking in the leaves beside us in the brush, and we can't see it, but when we stop, it stops. When we walk, it walks.
Yeah, we're
We're
being
just going to keep walking.
followed by
But if for
something.
some reason you find our phone and not us, we were ate by a coyote. Oh gosh. This kind of reminds me of Blair Witch. It's kind of freaky.
Check out these towers. I love these. Reminds me of a Stephen King movie.
All right.
The Langoliers. Remember that movie? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
See, there's a bunch of them back there. You can see them off in the distance. There's nothing like a nice, refreshing long walk to get your old bones feeling better. Helps me sleep at night. Need to do this more often.
You got you out here doing it?
Reminds me of the day, yes, Brenda got me off the couch today and said, let's go. She pumped me up with coffee, and here I am.
And yesterday.
And yesterday, too. We went for a long walk, too. But reminds me of my old high school days back in 1975 and 76 when I was on the Wilbur Wright cross-country team. And I used to be able to jog, non-stop for 8 to 10 miles. And we did that every day. We would run from Wilbur Wright all the way out to Eastwood Park and back. And then when we get back, we would do hill sprints. Oh, to be young again, I'll tell you what. If anybody ever remembers that, Coach Petrie, yeah, I used to be pretty good. We would go run against area high schools, and I took second place a few times. And I'll never forget the thrill of sitting there in my class in the morning, because I was very quiet and very shy. But to have my name called out over the intercom that I took second place. And usually the first place was given to my teammate. His name was Scott Murray. I never did beat that son of a gun. But he was a tall, lanky guy that was really just perfectly built to be a cross-country runner. And he would have these red things on the back of his shoes that he put there on purpose to mesmerize the competition. Unfortunately, it mesmerized me too, and I always stayed behind him. But I loved cross-country. I always did. Maybe that's why I can still get out here and walk at 59 years old. I don't know. I'm just reflecting. That's what walking will do. It makes you reflect.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want to reflect on, darling?
I think I reflected all the way back that way. Yeah.
There's an inside joke here.
No, there isn't.
All I'm going to say is Pavlov's dogs is a true theory.
He's drunk.
That's all I'll say. Okay. Oh, we're coming up on the sign I was telling you about. I'll hopefully be able to get this if my phone has enough charge left. Look at this big tower. I love those things. There's just something spooky about them.
Okay.
Hi.
Here we go. I still hear that thing walking over there in the woods.
Yes. It's all right. We have an escort.
Or maybe it's the crunching of my hair in my coat.
Okay. That would explain it.
When I stop, it stops.
Okay. They're doing some construction here. Some kind. They usually are. They take such good care of this place. I'll tell you. Here's the sign I was telling you about. It's an Ohio historical marker talking about the National Road. And you can read this for yourself if you're still watching this video, if it hasn't bored you to tears yet. There it is. Authorized by Congress in 1806, the National Road was the nation's first federally funded interstate highway. National leaders desired an all-weather road across the Allegheny Mountains in order to develop closer political and economic ties between the East and West. Considered to be a significant engineering feat, the road opened Ohio and much of the old Northwest Territory to settlement, provided access for Ohio goods to reach eastern markets, and enabled Ohio citizens to play important roles in the affairs of the new nation. The National Road was renowned for the number of quality inns and taverns during the heyday of the stagecoach. The road declined after 1850 as railroads became the preferred method of travel. The automobile, however, brought new life to the road. Reborn as US 40, it became a busy 24-hour-day artery with truck stops, motor courts, and diners until superseded by the interstate highways in the 1960s. Yeah. Let's see what this side says. And this was the village of Tadmor. The village of Tadmor is significant as being the location of one of the most important centers of transportation in early Ohio history. As early as 1809, keel boats were poled upriver from Dayton to load and unload freight in the village. By 1837, the Miami and Erie Canal had reached Tadmor, connecting it to the Ohio River in the south and Lake Erie in the north. In the 1830s, the National Road was constructed through Tadmor, connecting it to points east and west. In 1851, the Dayton and Michigan Railroad established freight and passenger service to the growing town. Residents hoped that Tadmor's strategic location would help it prosper. However, successive flooding on the Great Miami River stifled growth. Tadmor was finally abandoned when a dam constructed by the Miami Valley Conservancy District in 1922 to retain water during flooding made the site uninhabitable. Wow. So this was Tadmor. Pretty cool. Good to know. Good stuff. Reading courtesy of the Dayton school system. And a lot of Archie comic books. All right.
So, Mr. Narrator, how long
Yes.
are you going to let this video go on?
I don't know. I guess as long as it feels entertaining to myself.
Because it all won't go on your page.
It won't?
Too big.
Okay,
I
well.
don't know, maybe it will. I don't know. What do
I don't know.
I don't know. We can try it. Now we have it for ourselves. So what does this say? How much further we have to go?
Okay, we're headed back to Taylorsville Dam parking lot.
Hours left.
So we've walked quite a ways. We're on our way back. We're 1.3 miles away. So we've walked a good distance, about 6 miles or so.
It's almost 7 miles.
Okay. All right, signing off. Goodbye.
Sayonara.